All right, ready to dive in.
Let's do it.
Today, we're heading over to Ashdod, Israel.
Okay.
Two cousins there, Ili Danino and Yohan Kaplan. They've written this song, Kethavela, and you know what that translates to.
Let me think. They annoy me.
Yeah, they annoy me. And let me tell you, this song is catchy. It's gone viral. People love it. And once you hear it, you're going to be singing it for days. Am I right?
Oh, I believe it.
Oh.
I mean, it's incredible what these kids, Ili's 13, right, and Yohan's 10.
Yeah.
To capture such raw emotion, it's one thing to have a catchy song, but there's a real authenticity there. It gives you a glimpse into what their life is like.
It does, because the song, well, the lyrics directly reflect where they're living, what they're going through. So for our listeners, we're talking about a song that came out of a very particular context.
Exactly. I mean, Ashdod, where they're from, they've been dealing with conflict. I mean, rocket attacks.
Yeah.
Imagine being, 10, 13 years old, and that's part of your daily life.
Right. It's a lot to process.
Absolutely. And the fact that they're not, you hear the frustration in the song, but it's defiant, there's humor. They're not letting this get them down, which is incredible.
It really is. And I think you can hear that even if you don't understand Hebrew. You can hear it in the energy of the song.
Absolutely. That's the power of music.
Yeah.
Right? It just kind of breaks through. So I'm curious, what were they even hoping to achieve with this song? Like, what was going through their minds as they wrote it, as they were recording it?
Yeah. Well, their creative process, that's another whole part of the story we got to unpack. What can you tell us about how they actually put the song together?
Well, picture this. They're in their uncle's recording studio.
Okay.
Just two kids hanging out, and they start messing around with beats on YouTube.
Really?
Just experimenting, trying to find that right sound. Nothing fancy, no big producers.
A real DIY approach.
Totally. And the fact that they did 6 recording sessions, that tells you something about how much the song meant to them.
6 recording sessions. That's commitment.
Right.
Especially for, young guys. They've got school. They've got life.
Yeah, exactly. It really does. It shows you, this was important to them, and it comes through in the final product.
Yeah.
We're talking about how catchy it is and everything, but have you listened to the lyrics?
Yeah.
Like, they're not shying away from anything.
No, they're very honest.
Yeah.
There's one line I love. It's, hold on, how does it go again? They tell us to run to the shelter, but we just want to dance.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, really captures that, like the fear, but also, like, we're kids, we still want to have fun.
It's that youthful defiance, right? Like, yeah, things are scary, but we're still going to live our lives. And I think that really resonates with people.
I think that's what it is.
Like, all over the world, people are hearing that and they get it, even if they don't speak the language.
It makes you wonder if there are other examples of, music like this.
What do you mean?
Like from other points in history.
Oh, yeah.
Where music has been this kind of outlet.
Oh, absolutely.
During times of conflict or,
Right, like when you think about protest songs.
Right.
All through history, or even like music from World War I, the trenches, Music has this incredible power to give people a voice when they're going through something really tough.
Totally. And that's kind of what Lini and Yohan have done here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They've taken all of this, the anxiety, the fear, the frustration.
It's turned into something powerful, catchy, but meaningful,
Speaking of catchy, like, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's what stuck with me. I've had this song in my head for
Oh, yeah, me too.
Days.
Such an earworm.
It really is. But it's more than that. It makes you think, like, about these kids, about their lives.
Absolutely. It's not just a throwaway pop song.
No.
It sticks with you.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what you think about the response, like that it's gone global.
I know, it's amazing, right? Like, this is a song from a small city in Israel.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. Why do you think that is?
It's got to be a few things, right? First of all, it's a great song. Like it or not, it's catchy.
Yeah.
But I also think it's that Ili and Yohan are just being themselves.
Yeah.
It's not manufactured.
Yeah.
There's something really refreshing about that.
Especially these days.
So tell me about it.
It's like we're so used to everything being so polished.
Exactly.
And this is just raw. It's real.
And I think, honestly, people were craving that.
Yeah. Something real.
Yeah, and the fact that it's coming from these two young kids, it's hopeful,
Yeah.
Like, even in the midst of all this craziness, there's still room for joy and creativity and, honestly, just human connection.
And it goes back to what you were saying, about music being this, like, universal language, this way of, like breaking down barriers.
It really exemplifies that.
It does.
It's not just, a catchy song. It makes you stop and think.
Like, wow, even when things are tough, people find a way.
Exactly.
There's still that, like, resilience of the human spirit.
So as we're, coming to the end of our deep dive here.
Yeah.
What do you hope, what's the takeaway for people listening?
Honestly, I want them to remember Eli and Yoan, like just the fact that they didn't give up.
Yeah.
They took this tough situation and they created something.
Yeah.
And it resonated with people, like, all over the world.
And it makes you think, what else is out there?
Yeah, totally.
What other stories haven't we heard yet?
Exactly. There's so much creativity out there.
Well, that's something to think about. And on that note,
yeah,
we're going to wrap up this deep dive.
This was great.
But don't worry, we'll be back with another one soon.
Can't wait.
So until then, catch you later.